cosa vediamo nel prossimo servizio?
Ah, è un clap clap particolare, un servizio di clap clap che parla di due autrici giovani, una è italiana che si chiama Silvia Labroglia, l'altra invece è proprio un'inglesina di Londra che si chiama Lottie William Burrel, Lottie William Burrel, che sono autrici, registi e anche interpreti, tra l'altro, di questo spettacolo che si chiama Una notte con Oscar Wilde.
Ma pensa a te, ci sai dire qualcos'altro?
Ma vi so dire che c'ha una particolarità Una notte con Oscar Wilde, che non è uno spettacolo in italiano, perché loro naturalmente una è italiana, l'altra è inglese, allora cosa gli è venuto in mente? Perché non facciamo una cosa mixiana? Infatti questa è la possibilità di vedere uno spettacolo in italiano e in inglese, quindi sia per le persone che magari non sanno molto bene l'italiano o per gli inglesi che vogliono vedere un teatro in inglese, perché naturalmente l'idea originale, insomma, naturalmente hanno questa possibilità. Soprattutto la cosa più carina è che è una forma di teatro che può soddisfare sia noi italiani che la comunità, ad esempio inglese o gli anglofoni che vivono qui a Bologna, no?
Però, quindi apprezzata, insomma, come cosa.
Sì, è apprezzata, lo spettacolo è carino, del buon ritmo, adesso naturalmente lo vedremo insieme. Cosa posso dire? Che anche l'idea non è male, perché si chiama Una notte con Oscar Wilde appunto perché sono le figure disegnate dalla penna appunto del commediografo, il saggio inglese Wilde, e che improvvisamente prendono, diciamo, vita sopra il palcoscenico, che in verità sono in casa dello stesso Oscar Wilde e ne sono la governante, la donna di servizio, eccetera, con tutti quelli che possono crearsi come battibecchi, perché poi ci sono un po' di amorazzi, di tensioni, un po' di, insomma, la vis comica che, pur essendo, come si dice, sai, l'humor inglese che è sempre molto fine e raffinato, però in questo caso si mixa con quella che è invece la forza comica italiana e crea una formula che secondo me adesso, se lo vediamo insieme, tu ti appassioni e dopo mi studi anche e mi approfitti anche di queste questioni per approfondire la lingua inglese.
Già fatto, allora enjoy the piece.
Enjoy the piece, brava. Una notte con Oscar Wilde, Rossella, Regina e Eugenio Bortolini per Clap Clap. Alla prossima.
won't you marry me with your musket, fife and drum? Oh, no, sweet maid, I cannot marry you, for I have no coat to put on. So up she went to her grandfather's chest, and she got him a coat of the very, very best. And she got me a coat of the very, very best, and the soldier put it on. Oh, soldier, soldier, won't you marry me with your musket, fife and drum? Oh, no, sweet maid, I cannot marry you, for I have no hat to put on. So up she went to her grandfather's chest, and she got him a hat of the very, very best. And she got me a hat of the very, very best, and the soldier put it on. Oh, soldier, soldier, won't you marry me with your musket, fife and drum? Oh, no, sweet maid, I cannot marry you, for I have no gloves to put on. So up she went to her grandfather's chest, and she got him a pair of the very, very best. And she got me a pair of the very, very best, and the soldier put them on. Oh, soldier, soldier, won't you marry me with your musket, fife and drum? Oh, no, sweet maid, I cannot marry you, for I have no boots to put on. So up she went to her grandfather's chest, and she got him a pair of the very, very best. And she got me a pair of the very, very best, and the soldier put them on. Oh, soldier, soldier, won't you marry me with your musket, fife and drum? Oh, no, sweet maid, I cannot marry you, for I have a wife of my own. Girls! What on earth is going on in here? Margarita, why are you wearing Mr. Oscar Wilde's clothes? Che? È vero, sei italiana. Perché stai indossando I vestiti di Mr. Oscar Wilde? We were just talking. Why were you encouraging her? Sorry, Miss Betty. Sorry, Miss Betty. Stavamo solo controllando che fosse tutto in ordine. Well, you have some very strange ideas about tidying up. Now listen, both of you. I have some very important news. Oh, how exciting! Tell us more. I have here a letter from our master himself, Mr. Oscar Wilde. What does it say? I don't know. It's addressed to all three of us. Shall I open it? Yes! Are you listening? Yes! Very well. Allora. Do you need your glasses, Miss Betty? I don't wear glasses, Connie. These are just decoration. To my most treasured maids, the trustworthy Betty, the delightful Connie, e la mia piccola Margarita. I need your help. I will be going away for a while, and you are the only people I can trust to pack my case. This is no ordinary trip, and I may be away for some time, so I will need some very particular things. My best coat, my boots, my gloves, and my hat. Margarita, the hat. Also, I will need a copy of each of my plays and some home comforts. Home comfort? Ah. Please speak to no one of this. It is to be our little secret. Lastly, please pack up my beloved study and look after my dear family while I'm away. You will be rewarded very highly, my dears. Yours, Oscar Wilde. I don't understand. Where is he going? Maybe France, or Spain, or America. Oh, how lucky he is to travel the world. And we will be rewarded. What does it mean? Girls, you shouldn't be thinking about rewards. Mr. Wilde is relying on us to help him. It's our duty to do exactly as the letter says. Now, Margarita, fold these clothes. And Connie, start to look through the manuscripts. But there are hundreds. We'll never fit them all in that old suitcase. You might be right. Well, we'll have to choose his best works then.
Le sue opere più belle.
Yeah, but there are so many, Miss Betty.
Come facciamo a scegliere?
We'll start looking.
Oh, well, we have to pack the picture of Dorian Gray. Really? I think it's overrated. Lady Windermere's fan, adoro questa pièce. Oh, really?
Connie!
The Canterbury Ghost, yeah? A Florentine tragedy? Yeah. Salome!
No. I have an idea. Why don't we each choose one play? You will have to think very carefully, girls. I've made my decision. I have chosen, in my humble opinion, his finest piece of writing. Such wit, such elegance, such understanding of the female sensibility. A woman of no importance.
Non lo conosco. You know, the one where the women talk about the men. In tutte le opere di Wilde, le donne parlano di uomini. The one where they all drink the tea. Ma bevono sempre il tè, per favore. Well, the one with the husbands and the wives. Ah. Ci sono mariti e mogli in tutte le opere di Wilde.
Oh, yeah. Girls, please show some respect. This beautiful piece of writing explores the thoughts and feelings of every type of woman. It is, in itself, a tribute to the female. I often think Mr. Wilde understands our fair sex better than we do ourselves.
Parla di donne, insomma.
Picture, if you will, a meeting of minds, an exquisite, exotic beauty, with extraordinary confidence, some would say insolence. An older, wiser lady, with experience, and, it must be said, a certain elegance. And a stupid little girl who's desperate for a boyfriend.
Why does she get to be the exotic beauty?
Perché Italiana.
And why do you get to be the wise, experienced lady?
Perché sono la più vecchia.
And why do I have to be the stupid girl who never has a boyfriend?
And the scene begins.
What a comfort it is to have got rid of the man for a little. Yes, men persecute us dreadfully, don't they? Persecute us? I wish they did.
My dear.
La cosa più irritante è che gli uomini possono essere perfettamente felici anche senza di noi. È per questo che io credo sia un dovere di ogni donna quello di non lasciarli mai da soli, neppure per un istante. Eppure è così faticoso tenerli imbrigliati, cercano sempre di fuggire via. A me pare che siamo noi a continuare a fuggire via. Gli uomini sono così crudeli, conoscono bene il loro potere e sanno bene come usarlo.
What a a lot of nonsense, all of this about marriage. The thing to do with men is to keep them in their proper place.
And what is their proper place, Lady Caroline?
Looking after their wives, Mrs. Allenby.
Really? And if they are not married?
If they are not married, they should be looking for a wife. It's perfectly scandalous, the number of bachelors going about society.
If they are in love with someone who perhaps is tied to another.
In that case, Lady Sunfield, they should be married off in a week to some plain, respectable girl in order to teach them not to meddle with other people's property.
Non credo che si possa parlare delle donne come di proprietà di qualcuno. Ogni uomo è sposato con la nostra proprietà, ma noi non apparteniamo a nessuno.
Sono così felice di sentirti parlare così. Well, I suppose the type of husband has completely changed since my younger days, but I'm bound to state that my husband was the most delightful of creatures and as good as gold.
Mio marito invece è un po' come una cambiale, non è mai un piacere incontrarlo.
E non la rinnovi la cambiale di tanto in tanto?
No, sono stata sposata soltanto una volta finora. Mi considerate una dilettante?
Con le vostre idee in realtà mi meraviglia il fatto che voi siate sposata.
È quello che penso io.
My dear child, I believe that you are really very happy in your married life, but that you like to hide your happiness from others.
I assure you, I was horribly deceived in Ernest.
Oh, I hope not, dear. I knew his mother quite well. She was a Stratton, one of Lord Cronin's daughters. A Victoria Stratton, a silly fair-haired woman with no chin.
Ah, Ernest has a chin, a square chin. Ernest's chin is far too square.
But do you really think a man's chin can be too square? I think a man should look very, very strong, and that his chin should be quite square.
Then you should certainly know Ernest, Lady Studley. It's only fair to tell you beforehand, he has got no conversation at all.
I adore silent men.
Ernest isn't silent. He talks the whole time. But he has got no conversation. What he talks about, I don't know. I haven't listened to him for years.
Sad, that seems. But then, all life is very, very sad, is it not?
Life, Lady Studley, is simply a mauvais quart d'heure, made up of exquisite moments.
Oh, yes, there are moments, certainly. But was it something very, very wrong that Mr. Allenby did? Did he become angry with you, or say anything that was unkind or true?
Cielo, no. Ernest è immancabilmente calmo. Ecco un'altra delle ragioni per le quali proprio non lo sopporto. C'è qualcosa di positivamente brutale nel caratteraccio di certi uomini più moderni.
Già, il caratteraccio di certi uomini mostra che non sono sensibili come noi. È così finamente forte. Quante differenze tra uomini e donne, no? Ma ora vorrei proprio sapere cosa ha combinato Mr. Allenby di così grave.
Bene, ve lo racconterò. Ma solo se mi promettete di raccontarlo a tutti.
Grazie. Potete contare su di me. Lo verranno a sapere tutti quanti.
When Ernest and I were engaged, he swore to me, positively on his knees, that he had never loved anyone before in the whole course of his life. I was very young at the time, so I didn't believe him. Kind of sad. Unfortunately, however, I made no inquiries till after I had been married 4 or 5 months. And then I found out that what he told me was perfectly true. And that sort of thing makes a man so absolutely uninteresting.
My dear!
Gli uomini dovrebbero essere sempre il primo amore di ogni donna. È una loro sciocca vanità. Le donne invece hanno un istinto un po' più sottile. Vorrebbero essere l'ultima avventura amorosa dei loro uomini.
Oh, I see what you mean. It is very, very beautiful.
My dear child, you don't mean to tell me that you won't forgive your husband because he never loved anybody else. I
I've never heard such a thing. I'm quite surprised. But then, modern women are so highly educated that I suppose nothing should surprise me anymore, except happy marriages. They apparently are getting quite rare.
They are quite out of date.
Except amongst the middle classes, I've been told.
Like the middle class. More marriages are ruined nowadays by the common sense of the husband than by anything else. How can a woman be expected to be happy with a man who insists on treating her as if she were a perfectly rational being?
Yes, the common sense of husbands is certainly most trying. Oh, do tell me your conception of the ideal husband. Oh, I think it should be so very helpful.
The ideal husband. There couldn't be such a thing. The institution is wrong.
The ideal man, then, in his relations to us.
He would probably be extremely realistic.
The ideal man. The ideal man should talk to us as if we were goddesses and treat us as if we were children. He should refuse all our serious requests and gratify every one of our whims. He should always say much more than he means, and always mean much more than he says.
How can he do both here?
He should never run down other pretty women. That would show he had no taste, or make one suspect he had too much. No, he should be kind about them all, but say that somehow they don't attract him.
Yes, that is always very pleasant to hear about other women.
Se gli facciamo una domanda, di qualunque tipo, lui dovrebbe risponderci parlando esclusivamente di noi. Dovrebbe inoltre lodarci per tutte quelle qualità che non ci sogniamo affatto di avere e rimproverarci per quelle virtù che mai avremo. And should shower on us everything we don't want.
As far as I can see, he is to do nothing but pay bills and compliments.
L'uomo ideale dovrebbe sempre comprometterci in pubblico e trattarci invece con assoluto rispetto quando siamo da soli. Inoltre dovrebbe essere sempre pronto ad offrirci una bella scenata, qualora noi lo desideriamo. Durante la scenata dovrebbero diventare spiacevoli dopo una ventina di minuti e diventare positivamente violenti alla fine della mezz'ora, per poi minacciare di lasciarci per sempre verso 7:45, quando ci stiamo preparando per la cena. E dopo che ci si guarda negli occhi per l'ultima volta e ci si rifiuta di restituirsi pegni d'amore scambiati, allora si raccomanda agli uomini di non farsi mai più vivi, di non mandare assolutamente lettere cretine, e per reazione loro invieranno bigliettini tramite cocchieri privati ogni mezz'ora, si faranno vedere da soli in pubblico e mangeranno in un club, tanto per rimarcare la loro grande tristezza. Ed è allora, dopo un'intera settimana, dopo che ci si è comportate veramente male con lui, che si può arrivare alla terza fase di questo piano, in fascia serale preferibilmente. In quel momento, quando l'uomo sarà distrutto e avrà il cuore spezzato, gli sarà concesso di ammettere che aveva avuto torto, e allora sarà un dovere di ogni donna quello di poterlo perdonare. Si possono apportare delle variazioni a questo piano, si può ricominciare dall'inizio, dalla fine.
You are, my dear. You never mean a single word you say.
Thank you. It has been quite entrancing. You must try and remember it all.
Do you think, Mrs. Allenby, I shall ever meet the ideal man? Or are there more than one?
There are just 4 in Bologna, Lady Stafford.
Oh, my dear! home very shortly and has plenty to be getting on with.
Very well, Miss Betty.
You are quite right, Miss Betty.
Oh, you're very wise, Miss Betty.
It's a shame though, isn't it, Connie? We could have read An Ideal Husband.
Yes. And Miss Betty could have played the glamorous Mrs. Cheevy with the face of an orchid.
Con la faccia di un'orca.
And I could have played Lady Chiltern, her childhood enemy.
E io, Mabel, tua cognata.
And we could have read the scene where Mrs. Cheevy threatens and shocks Lady Chiltern. And she could have worn this.
But, as you say, we have work to do.
Well, we have 2 or 3 minutes to spare. Shall we? Yes! Get me that scarf. Connie, get me that. Oh, yes.
What can I wear as Lady Chiltern?
Oh, you can wear these glasses, Connie. I don't need them.
Quando è che le donne sono diventate così ossessionate dai loro abiti?
Oh, since the beginning of time, Margarita. Since as far back as we can remember. Since Mother Eve, in the garden long ago, started a fashion. Fashion's been a passion.
She wore a costume some might describe as brief. Still, every season has a change of leaf.
She'd stare if she came to town. What would Mother Eve think of my new Parisian gown?
As I
Take my morning promenade. Quite a fashion card on the promenade. Now I don't mind nice boys staring hard if it satisfies their desire.
Do you think my dress is a little bit? Just a little bit?
Oh, not too much of it. If it shows my shape just a little bit, that's a little bit the boys admire.
My grandmother, she wore a crinoline. Then came the bustle. Oh, it was a tussle.
Women were tied up, trussed up with dress. Now fashion states we must wear less.
Each year our costumes grow more brief. I wonder when we'll get back to that good old-fashioned leaf.
I
Take my morning promenade. Quite a fashion card on the promenade. Now I don't mind nice boys staring hard if it satisfies their desire.
Do you think my dress is a little bit? Oh, just a little bit.
Not too much of it. If it shows my shape just a little bit, that's a little bit the boys admire.
Too greedy, do you think my dress is a little bit? Oh, just a little bit.
No, not too much of it. If it shows my shape just a little bit, that's a little bit the boys admire.
Places, girls, places.
done this time. Robert says he's the best secretary he's ever had.
Well, Tommy has proposed to me again. Tommy really does nothing but propose to me. He proposed to me last night in the music room when I was quite unprotected, as there was an elaborate trio going on. I didn't dare to make the smallest repartee. I needn't tell you. If I had, he would have stopped the music at once. Musical people are so absurdly unreasonable. They always want one to be perfectly done at the very moment when one is longing to be absolutely deaf. quella che abbiamo in giardino. Non capisco perché tutto quello che avviene di fronte a quella statua diventa improvvisamente spaventoso. Non pensi che dovrebbe metterci mano la polizia? At luncheon, I saw by the glare in his eye that he was going to propose to me again, and I just managed to check him in time by assuring him that I was a bimetallist. Fortunately, I don't know what bimetallism means. But the observation crashed on me for 10 minutes. He looked quite shocked. Le proposte di matrimonio di Tommy sono così irritanti. Io non riesco a capire perché non comincia a fare, non so, a gran voce, una grande platea, ma sì, me li voltiamo. Invece no, Tommy lo fa in una maniera così orridamente confidenziale. C'è qualche ragione speciale per cui Tommy, quando vuole essere romantico, parla come se fosse un dottore? I wish you would speak to him and tell him that once a week is quite often enough to propose to anyone, and that should always be done in a manner that attracts someone else.
Dear Mabel, don't talk like that. Besides, Robert thinks very highly of Mr. Trafford. He believes he has a brilliant future before him.
Well, I wouldn't marry a man with a brilliant future before him for anything under the sun. Mabel, I know, dear. You married a man with a brilliant future. Yes, but then Robert was a genius. You can stand geniuses, and Robert is the only genius I could ever bear. As a rule, I think they are quite impossible. Geniuses talk so much, do they? Such a bad habit. And they are always talking about themselves when I want them to be talking about me. Well, I must go round now and rehearse at Lady Bassington's. You remember? We're having tableau. Gertrude, sapete chi sta venendo a trovarvi? Quell'orribile Mrs. Chilby in un abito delizioso, questo lo devo dire. Mrs. Chilby? Venire a trovarmi? Lo so, e ti assicuro che sta salendo su per le scale. Oh, non dovrei attendere, per forza. E invece sì, voglio salutare Mrs. Chilby.
Won't you sit down, Mrs. Chilby? Thanks.
Isn't this Miss Chilton? I should like so much to know her.
Mabel, Mrs. Chilby wishes to know.
I thought your dress was so charming last night, Miss Chilton. So simple and suitable.
Really? I must tell my dressmaker. It would be such a surprise for her. Goodbye, Mrs. Chilby.
Going already?
Oh, yes, I am sorry, but I am obliged. I have to stand in my hair and some tableau.
You really are remarkably modern, Mabel. A little too modern, perhaps. Nothing is so dangerous as being too modern. But you need not be nervous. You will always be as pretty as possible. And that is the best fashion there is. Indeed, it is the only fashion England succeeds in setting.
Thank you, Mrs. Chilby, for England and myself.
Cara Gertrude, volevo solo sapere se fosse stata ritrovata una spilla di diamanti.
Qui?
Esatto. L'ho persa mentre tornavo a Claridge's e ho pensato che poteva essermi caduta qui.
Non ho sentito nulla al riguardo, ma lo chiederemo al maggiordomo.
Oserei dire di averla persa all'opera, prima di venire qui. Il fatto è che c'è stata una tale confusione di questi tempi che mi meraviglia avere ancora tutto addosso alla fine di una serata. E che la nostra società è così terribilmente sovraffollata. Davvero, qualcuno dovrebbe riflettere su un bel progetto di emigrazione assistita. Sarebbe un vero e proprio affare.
What sort of brooch was it that that you lost, Mrs. Cheveley?
A diamond snake brooch with a ruby. A rather large ruby.
Has a ruby and diamond brooch been found in any of the rooms this morning, Mason? Mason?
No. No,
That will do, Mason. Oh, Mason! You can bring tea.
Where is your husband?
Working.
Oh, really? This horrid House of Commons quite ruins our husbands for us. I think the lower house, by far the greatest blow to a happily married life there has been since that terrible thing called the higher education of women was invented.
It is heresy to say that in this house, Mrs. Cheveley. Robert is a great champion of the higher education of women, and so, I am afraid, am I.
The higher education of men is what I should like to see. Modern women have no need for education. They understand everything, I am told, except their husbands. That is the one thing the modern woman never understands.
May I give you some tea, Mrs. Cheveley?
No thanks.
Mrs. Cheveley, credo sia onesto dirle che se io avessi saputo che era lei veramente, non l'avrei mai invitata a casa mia la scorsa notte.
Ah, sì?
Non l'avrei potuto.
Vedo che non siete cambiate neanche un po' dopo tutto questo tempo, Gertrude.
Io non cambio mai.
Quindi la vita non ti ha insegnato proprio niente?
Mi ha insegnato che chi una volta è stata colpevole di disonestà o ha agito in maniera disonorevole lo farà una seconda volta e via di seguito.
La regola vale per tutti?
Sì, senza nessuna eccezione.
Se è così, allora mi spiace davvero tanto per voi, Gertrude.
You see now, I am sure, that for many reasons any further acquaintance between us during your stay in London is quite impossible.
Do you know, Gertrude, I don't mind your talking morality a bit. Morality is simply the attitude we adopt towards people whom we personally dislike. You dislike me, I am well aware of that. And I have always detested you. And yet, I have come here to do you a great service.
Come il servizio che volevate offrire a mio marito la scorsa notte, immagino. Grazie al cielo ho portato in salvo appena in tempo.
Se state voi a fargli scrivere una lettera così insolente per me, per colpa vostra lui ha rotto la sua promessa.
Yes, then you must make him keep it.
I'll give you till tomorrow morning, no more. If by then your husband does not solemnly bind himself to help me in this great scheme in which I am interested.
This fraudulent speculation!
Call it what you will. I hold your husband in the hollow of my hand. And if you are wise, you will make him do as I tell him.
You are impertinent. What has my husband to do with you, with a woman like you?
In this world, like meets with like. It is because your husband is himself fraudulent and dishonest that we pair so well together. Between you and him there are chasms. He and I are closer than friends. We are enemies linked together. The same sin binds us.
How dare you class my husband with yourself? How dare you threaten him or me? Leave this house! You are unfit to enter it.
Your house. A house bought with the price of dishonor. A house, everything in which has been paid for by fraud. Ask him what the origin of his fortunes. Get him to tell you how he sold to a stockbroker a cabinet secret. Learn from him to what you owe your position.
It's not true! Robert, it's not true!
Look at you. Can he deny it? Does he dare to? Go!
Go at once! You have done your worst.
Now, my worst. I have not yet finished with you, with either of you. I give you both till tomorrow at noon. If by then you do not do as I bid you, the whole world shall learn the origin of Robert Chiltern.
Una scena meravigliosa. Sei stata bravissima.
Margarita, I think I could be a real actress.
importance of being earnest.
The importance of being earnest. Lady Bracknell.
Chi è Lady Bracknell?
Il mio personaggio mai scritto. Come dammelo.
Posso essere io, Lady Bracknell?
Non sarò io.
Perché?
Perché sono la più vecchia.
No. Per cui pensi di essere Lady Bracknell?
What's your performance? Now, where is that scene? Where is that scene? Margarita, come here.
I'm tying up.
Now, leave all that. It's not important. Connie can do it later. Come here. This.
Cos'è?
Then. To say Jack Worthing.
Jack!
Giacomo.
Ma è un uomo!
Sì, dai. Ha chiesto la mano di Gwendolyn e lei ha accettato. Comunque, quando lei racconta a sua madre, Lady Bracknell, del vostro fidanzamento, lei non acconsente, dicendole che lei e suo padre, Lord Bracknell, dovranno scegliere un marito. Questa scena è un'intervista. È fantastica.
Va bene! Allora facciamola!
You may take a seat, Mr. Worthing.
Oh, thank you, Lady Bracknell. I prefer standing.
I feel bound to tell you that you are not down on my list of eligible young men, Mr. Worthing. Although I have the same list as the dear Duchess of Bolton has. We work together, in fact. However, I'm quite ready to enter your name should your replies be what a truly affectionate mother requires. Le fuma.
Beh, devo ammettere che... sì, fumo.
Sono felice di sentirtelo dire. A man should always have an occupation of some kind. There are far too many idle men in London as it is. How old are you?
29.
A very good age to be married at. Sono sempre stato dell'opinione che un uomo che desideri sposarsi deve sapere o tutto o niente. Voi che tipo d'uomo siete?
Io non so niente, Lady Bracknell.
Sono felice di sentirtelo dire. I don't agree with anything that tampers with natural ignorance. Ignorance is like a delicate exotic fruit. Touch it and the bloom is gone. Qual è la sua rendita?
Tra le 7 e le 8.000 l'anno.
In land or in investments?
In investments.
That is satisfactory. What between the duties expected of one during one's lifetime and the duties exacted from one after one's death, land has ceased to be either a profit or a pleasure. It gives one position and prevents one from keeping it up. That is all that can be said about land.
Beh, in realtà io possiedo una casa in campagna. Oh, non mi rende assolutamente niente, anzi, l'unica cosa di cui sono certo è che chi ci guadagna sono i bracconieri.
Una casa in campagna? Con quante stanze?
Una.
Well, that point can be cleared up afterwards. You have a townhouse, I hope. A girl with a simple, unspoiled nature like Gwendolyn could hardly be expected to reside in the country.
Oh, certo che ho una casa in città. A Belgrave Square. Ecco, in questo momento ci abita Lady Bloxham. Ci starà per un anno. Ah, ma io posso avere la casa ogni volta, sì, quando voglio, con un preavviso di 6 mesi.
Lady Bloxham? I don't know her.
Well, she is a lady considerably advanced age.
No, nowadays that is no guarantee of respectability of character. A quale numero di Belgrave Square?
149.
Ah, la zona fuori moda. Però dove qualcosa di più. Comunque, questo si può facilmente modificare.
Intende l'essere fuori moda o la zona?
Entrambe, presumo, se necessario. What are your politics?
Well, I am afraid I have none. I am a liberal unionist.
Oh, they count as Tories. They dine with us, or they come in the evenings at any rate. Now to minor matters. I vostri genitori sono ancora in vita.
Li ho persi entrambi.
Perdere un solo genitore, Mr. Wilde, potrebbe essere considerato un sfortuna. Perderli entrambi, una disattenzione. Who's your father? He was evidently a man of some wealth. Was he born in what the radical papers call the purple of commerce, or did he rise from the ranks of the aristocracy?
Ecco, io ho perso i miei genitori, ma sarebbe più opportuno dire che loro hanno perso me. Io non so di chi sono figlio. Sono un trovatello.
How?
The late Thomas Cardew, an old gentleman, found me and gave me the name of Worthing because he happened to have a ticket for Worthing in his pocket at the time. Worthing is a place in Sussex. It's a seaside resort.
Where did the charitable gentleman with the ticket for the seaside resort find you?
In una borsa.
A handbag?
Sì, mi hanno trovato in una borsa. Ma era una bella borsa! Era una borsa di cuoio nero, con dei bei manici, resistentissima. Insomma, una borsa a tutti gli effetti.
And in what locality did this Mr. James or Mr. Thomas Cardew come across this ordinary handbag?
Nel guardaroba della Victoria Station.
In the cloakroom at Victoria Station?
Sì, ma la Brighton Line.
The line is immaterial, Mr. Worthing. I confess I feel somewhat bewildered by what you have just told me. To be born, or at any rate bred, in a handbag, whether it had handles or not, seems to me to display a contempt for the ordinary decencies of family life that reminds one of the worst excesses of the French Revolution. And I presume you know what that unfortunate movement led to. As for the particular location of the handbag, a cloakroom at a railway station might serve to conceal a social indiscretion, has indeed probably been used for that very purpose before now, but it could hardly be regarded as an assured basis for a recognized position in good society.
Sì, ma Lady Bracknell, almeno mi dica se c'è qualcosa che io posso fare. Vorrei veramente rendere felice Gwendolyn.
I would strongly advise you, Mr. Worthing, to try and acquire some relations as soon as possible, and to make a definite effort to produce at any rate one parent of either sex before the season is quite over.
Non vedo come io possa procurarmi un genitore. Se vuole le posso portare la borsa. La borsa sì, ce l'ho nell'armadio. Come bella. Le piacerebbe Lady Bracknell?
Me, sir? What has it to do with me? You can hardly imagine that I am Lord Bracknell would dream of allowing our only daughter, a girl brought up with the utmost care and attention, to marry into a railway station and form an alliance with a parcel. Good morning, Mr. Worthing. Well, Margherita, there you are.
Adoro il tuo personaggio, è così italiano.
È così inglese. I think all mothers are a little like Lady Bracknell, specialmente qui. All women become their mothers. That is their tragedy. No man does. That is his.
Che bella frase, chi l'ha detta?
Now, actually, Margarita, you were rather good then as a man, and I was very good as Lady Bracknell. Now, I think there's another scene that we could do.
No.
You and I together. Come here.
No, io non voglio più fare l'uomo.
Come here.
No.
Don't worry about all the time.
No, no, no.
Or we can do it later. We're the best actors anyway, you and I. Connie! Hello there. When I said that, I wasn't talking about you, Connie. It was the other girl who used to work in the house called Connie.
I don't know what's got into you today, Miss Betty. Usually you're very fair and very kind with me and Margarita. But today you're being so bossy and you're taking all the best parts and I don't like it!
Now, you're right. I'm ashamed. I've been vainglorious and silly. I've got a bit guilty. What would you like to do?
Well, I'd like to read the tea scene between Gwendolen and Cecily.
Oh, yes. Gwendolen.
No! Perché tu sei la più vecchia.
È giusto.
Allora, Margarita, this scene is between two young women. Gwendolen, Lady Bracknell's daughter, and the very pretty Cecily. Okay. The scene is set in an English country garden.
La 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 la.
It is a very sunny day. There are flowers everywhere. And we can hear birds singing. We can hear birds singing. And the scene begins. Let me introduce myself to you. My name is Cecily Cardew. Cecily Cardew. What a very sweet name. Something tells me we are going to be great friends. I like you already, more than I can say. My first impressions of people are never wrong.
Oh, how nice of you to like me so much. After we have known each other such a comparatively short time. Pray sit down.
I may call you Cecily, may I not?
With pleasure.
And you will always call me Gwendolen, will you not?
If you wish.
Then that is all quite settled, is it not?
I hope so.
Forse potrebbe essere una buona opportunità per dire chi sono. Mio padre è Lord Burrel. Non ne ho mai sentito parlare, immagino, non credo. Fuori dalla famiglia, papà è, e ne sono felice, completamente sconosciuto. Credo sia così che deve essere. La casa è il luogo adatto per gli uomini. Accade, però, che qualcuno di essi cominci a trascurare i suoi doveri domestici, diventando terribilmente effeminato. No, non mi piace affatto. Rende gli uomini così attraenti. Mia madre, Cecily, le cui idee educative erano piuttosto severe, mi ha fatto diventare estremamente miope. Fa parte dei suoi metodi. Le dispiace se la guardo da dietro i miei occhiali?
Oh no, affatto, Gwendolen. Mi fa così piacere essere guardata. femmine.
Il suo tutore?
Sì, sono la pupilla di Mr. Worthing.
È curioso che non mi abbia mai detto che avevo un pupillo. Quanto segretezza. È ancora più interessante. Non sono sicura, comunque, che queste novità mi recano solo un piacere. I am very fond of you, Cecily. I liked you ever since I met you. But I feel bound to state that now that I know that you are Mr. Worthing's ward, I cannot help expressing a wish that you were, well, just a little older than you seem to be. And not quite so alluring in appearance. Dunque, se posso parlare francamente...
O lo faccia la Pep. Sono dell'idea che anche se si ha qualcosa di spiacevole da dire, lo si debba fare in maniera del tutto franca.
Per parlare con completa franchezza, Cecily, vorrei che le avesse non meno di 42 anni e che fosse più schietta per la vostra età. Ernest possiede una natura molto onesta e l'anima stessa della verità.
I beg your pardon, Gwendolyn.
Did you say Ernest?
Yes. Oh, but it's not Mr. Ernest Worthing who is my guardian. It is his brother, suo fratello più grande.
Ernest never mentioned to me that he had a brother.
Oh, I am sorry to tell you they have not been on good terms for a long time.
Oh, that accounts for it. Now that I come to think of it, I never heard any man mention his brother. The subject seems distasteful to most men. Cecily, you have lifted a load from my mind. I was growing almost anxious. It would have been terrible if any cloud had come across a friendship like ours, would it not? È veramente certo che non sia Ernest Worthing il suo tutore?
Certissima! Anche perché è il mio fidanzato.
Scusi, come dice?
Cara Gwendolyn, non vedo perché dovrei farmi un segreto proprio con lei. Il giornale della contea annuncerà questo fatto di cronaca la prossima settimana. Io e il signor Ernest Worthing ci siamo fidanzati e ci sposeremo.
My darling Cecily, I think there must be some slight error. Mr. Ernest Worthing is engaged to me. The announcement will appear in the Morning Post on Saturday at the latest.
Well, I think you must be under some misconception, because Ernest proposed to me exactly 10 minutes ago.
Well, it is certainly very curious, for he asked me to be his wife yesterday afternoon at 5:30. If you would care to verify the incident, pray, do so. I never travel without my diary. One should always have something sensational to read in a train. I am very sorry, dear Cecily, if it is of any disappointment to you, but I'm afraid I have the prior claim.
It would distress me more than I can tell you, dear Gwendolyn. Mental or physical anguish. But I feel bound to point out that since Ernest proposed to you, he clearly has changed his mind.
Se il povero ragazzo è stato intrappolato in una sciocca promessa. Miss Cardew.
Oh, yes. A great man. From the top of one of the hills, one can see 5 counties.
5 counties? I don't think I should like that. I hate crowds.
I suppose that is why you live in town.
Quite a well-kept garden, this is, Miss Cardew.
So glad you like it, Miss Fairfax.
Non pensavo ci fossero certi fiori in campagna.
Oh, di fiori ce ne sono tanti qui in campagna. Tanti quante persone stanno a Londra.
Personalmente, non capisco come qualcuno possa addirittura vivere in campagna. Mi ha sempre annoiato a molto.
Credo sia quella che i giornali chiamano la crisi dell'agricoltura. Molti aristocratici ne soffrono. È un po' come un'epidemia che si dilaga tra loro. May I offer you some tea, Miss Fairfax?
Thank you. Detesto questa ragazza, ma dentro del tè, con piacere.
Sugar?
No, thank you. Sugar is not fashionable anymore.
Cake or bread and butter?
Bread and butter, please. Cake is rarely seen at the best houses nowadays. Bah! Mi ha riempito il tè con chili di zucchero e mi ha data la torta quando io le avevo chiesto pane e burro. Io sono nota per la mia gentilezza e per la mia straordinaria dolcezza. Ma la avverto, Miss Carey, sta andando oltre.
Per salvare il tuo povero ragazzo dalle grinfie di una sciacquetta qualunque, farei di tutto.
From the moment I saw you, I distrusted you. I felt that you were false and deceitful. I am never deceived in such matters. My first impressions of people are invariably right.
It seemed to me, Miss Fairfax, that I am trespassing on your valuable time. No doubt you have many other cows of a similar character to make in the neighborhood.
Fine! Oh, marvelous, girls! Well done!
What a mess. Do you really think so, Miss Betty? Do you think I could be a real actress?
No. You remained, Connie, and you worked very well. And speaking of which, we have done no work for the last hour, and Mr. Oscar will be here very, very soon. Please, let's get this place looking straight. Oh, dear.
There's cake all over the floor. Well, you know who to blame for that, don't you, Connie? Yes. I'll help you.
Right. Now come along. Let's get this place ship-shape. Don't dilly-dally.
Dilly-dally.
Let's don't shilly-shally.
Dilly-dally.
Connie, explain. More, Marty?
Dilly-dally. That new song. My old man said follow the van and don't dilly-dally
On the way, off went the van with me old comb in it. I followed on with me old cockle in it, and I dillied and dallied and dillied, lost my way and don't know where to roam. And you can't trust a special like an old-time copper when you can't find your way home.
As I said, quite enough of that. With this for a start. Mr. Wilde is here. Girls, last minute preparation. Girls, leave all that. That's enough.
Is Mr. Wilde here, Miss Betty?
Yes, Connie, Mr. Wilde's here.
Possiamo salvarlo prima che vada via.
No, Margarita, we can't see him. He's not alone.
Chi c'è con lui?
The police.
In Reading Jail, by Reading Town, there is a pit of shame, and in it lies a wretched man, eaten by teeth of flame. In a burning, winding sheet he lies, and his grave has got no name. And there, till Christ call forth the dead, in silence let him lie. No need to waste the foolish tear, or heed the windy sigh. The man had killed the thing he loved, and so he had to die. And all men kill the thing they love. By all let this be heard. Some do it with a bitter look, some with a flattering word. The coward does it with a kiss, the brave man with a sword.